What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is A2D Wednesday nights. Oh, baby, it's here. We're talking Eagles, Packers, preview from Brazil. We're not here, but let's go.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, we are brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed bread, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs. You mentioned A2D Radio, get 10% off your order. As always on Wednesday night, that's Heel Chrome. That's Greg Milakovic. That's Luke Brown. I'm Tom Arnone. We don't know where Noah is. Nobody knows. I didn't even hear from him. Nobody knows where Noah is. We might have lost him week one.
He's lost Noah. He's in Brazil.
He's drinking the water in Brazil.
He might not make it back then.
He flew to Rio. The game's in São Paulo. We don't know where he's at.
What I was trying to say in the beginning intro is like joking like we're in Brazil. No, we're not in Brazil because we're not morons. We're here. We're right here. We got feet on the ground over here in Jersey. We're ready to rock and roll. But no, it's great. It's great to have football back. It's week one coming right up, and when you're good, right? When you're good, this should be an exciting time. And when you're loaded, you should be 6 to midnight. And that's where we're sitting going into week one. But we'll talk about that as our lead topic. Later on the show, we'll get into Phillies, Marlins. We'll preview that. Look back, sweep of the Blue Jays in a 2-game set, right? Great come from behind win, last night and today, right? Getaway day. You got away with a win. So, and really great pitching. I mean, Sanchez's splits from road to home are absurd. It's like two different guys if you really go and look at it. So we'll dive into that later on in the show. But listen, we're going to give you our players of the game. We're going to preview it. We're going to dissect it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to find out if we're nervous, if we're confident. We're going to find out a lot tonight where we sit. And it all ties into our poll question. The Eagles defense, first of all, nobody won anything last year on any Venmos, right? Nobody won anything. Not that I got free money to hand out, but we start at $25 again. If somebody actually nails the pick, it'll go up all year. It'll go up all year. But you got to comment it in, and you need a player to game offense, defense. They're your tiebreakers. And you got to screenshot it, babe. And you got to get in the DMs. I don't know why I'm begging you people to win some money. I don't know why I'm over here begging. But we'll beg for our defense to show up Friday night. I can't believe I'm saying Friday night. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I'm going to wake up Friday like we got football Friday, and it's Friday Night Lights. Like you should expect football on Friday nights, but we've never experienced that in the NFL through our years watching, which is crazy. We got Friday night, goddamn lights in Brazil. The Eagles defense will shut down the Packers offense in week one. Do you agree or disagree? How do you not agree right now? How do you not fired up and agreeing after everything we just talked about? Let's go. Man, they're good offensively. All jokes aside, they obviously are. You expect Jordan Love to take another step in that progression. But I think we're really good too. I think we got a lot of Swiss Army knives that we're not sure about, but I think could be real positives with Vic. I think that you turn these guys into some real positives on some of our outside guys, more in the 3-4 technique, your outside linebackers, right? Or they're essentially pass rushers, and you can move those guys around, right? You get creative with them, and you can bring 5, you can bring 4. I think that ability of that much at the line at a time, right? And the flexibility of moving the guy out, and just the different things you can do in the 3-4 setting. I think we're gonna. I do believe we show up and play good defense. Now shutdown. What's shutdown mean? Like 17 or under? In today's league, is it 17 under considered a shutdown?
Yes.
You guys agree with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
Yeah, I think anything under 20 in today's NFL is shutdown. And to be honest with you, I think you can tell whether a defense shuts them down, even though a score might not dictate it too, right?
Yeah.
True. True. I don't know about shutdown, but I think we're going to play better than expected. Now, I don't like the loss of Devin White week 1, but, that's why Nakobe Dean was drafted. So, time's yours. Wally Pip his ass. Make sure he never sees the field here then. Like, that's all you can do. You go out and have a great game, and I don't see the field. But I don't think we hold him under 20. I got the 24 spot for the Packers, but I still think that's playing good defense. But I just think in this league, they're going to get theirs. You know what I mean? They're going to get theirs. So I got them at like 24 points. So I'll disagree with the shutdown. Like we're the 85 Bears walking in. We're upgraded for sure, right? We're absolutely upgraded, but we're not even in a top 10 conversation yet. We're hoping to be 14. Top half of the league. Can we be top half of the league? You know what I mean? That's what we're shooting for. So, they got a lot to prove before I'm going to be like, because I'm hard as a rock over here and I'm all fired up. Then I'm going to just all of a sudden be like, yeah. We're going to hold them at 14. No, let's not be totally stupid, Tom. So I disagree, boys. What do you guys say?
I disagree too, and I might rain on everyone's parade. I don't think we're going to win the game just because I think it's a lot of new. I think we might have to gel into this season. We're playing a really good team week 1 who's definitely on a heat wave right now, returning a lot of guys, pretty much the same team. I think that they kind of have the upper hand in that part of it. I'll take it a step further, though. I said it a month ago. Now it's really coming to fruition. You mentioned it for a second in Devin White. I don't know that this is a legitimate, oh, my God, he's now hurt on a Wednesday before a Friday game. I find it very, very weird that right before these last practices and training camps, Nakobe Dean and Bond are starting over him. Now we already fly to Brazil, and on the way to Brazil, it's reported, now you're hurt. I'm not saying I don't think he's hurt, but
there's a lot of turbulence in the air.
Yeah, I find it kind of weird that he's not there, meaning I don't know if he even really is hurt. That's what I'm saying. It's very possible. There's speculation before that.
We're doing this week 1.
No, that's just what I'm saying.
Week one, we're gonna now. We got guys.
Yes,
I'm
opting out. We got guys opting out.
No, I'm not saying he's opting out. I'm just saying.
How deep did you go on Twitter today for this one? I mean, how deep did we
go? I went right on my front page. It's the first thing I saw all day.
I didn't say
that's it.
I didn't say it.
I'm just saying. I just think it's kind of weird. I'm not calling it out like it is. It is really weird, and it's also something that we went into the season as a big problem. Don said earlier, I agree with him. I think Josh Jacobs is going to run crazy on us tomorrow. That's my biggest concern. I love what they did in the secondary. It really comes down to who's that run stopper. Fletcher Cox was kind of washed at the end of his career. Still a big presence there at the very least. Who's going to fill that void? Jordan Davis needs to have a monster year in terms of run stoppage. And then linebacker. I like Bond. Can you really trust and rely on the Kobe Dean week in, week out? I don't know. So I'm going to disagree with Paul.
Well, this has nothing to do with you. I got to just shut some stuff down because, what I'm not saying I wasn't on Twitter, and Chuck's is definitely on Twitter more than me, and Luke, you probably are too, right? But who confirmed these reports? Was it Vic Fangio? Did Vic Fangio come out and say Nakobe Dean is my starter?
No.
McLean reported it.
It's
McLean's a jerk off.
Well,
that's why I didn't bring it up. But I'm saying
we're gonna keep it real tonight, or we're not? Because
I saw McLean reported it, and that's why
reports a lot.
He sure does.
And
that's why I just left it as is, right? You know what I mean? Like it could be true, and it could be complete BS.
I might have went overboard with what I just said about, but I could do without the Jeff McLean. And he's done a great job for years. I'm never going to discredit guys. I'm just going to say I'm tired of some guys, right? I'm over it. Vic Fangio didn't name a starter yet. So whatever it is, if that's the case, then that's the case. Good. We drafted Nakobe Dean to be that starter anyway, right? Devin White was a low risk, high reward. And anybody that doesn't think there's a high reward in that, like Chuck's, I know he doesn't. And he's actually excited that he's not playing and he's hurt. That kind of stuff irritates me because the guy was an all-pro. He's 26 years old. I don't give a shit what everybody else says. If Nakobe Dean beats him out, it's because Nakobe Dean's better. It's not because Devin White can't play. You understand? The Kobe Dean was a high pick from arguably the best defense in college fucking football forever. So I would hope that when he's healthy, that he looks the part. I would hope that our scouting department's good enough when he is healthy that he looks to be the guy that I thought he was. Okay, just like I thought Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter were. So there's no way I'm gonna keep reiterating. I'm not clamoring for Devin White to be the starter. I want the best guy to start. There ain't no sons here. I've been higher on the Kobe Dean, and Chrome and Greg know this from draft night. I was high on the Kobe Dean. I thought it was a great pick. So, but I don't like that. Like Chuck's is like excited. Like I saw him today. I saw your post. You're excited. you're freaking giddy for an injury. Like we're good enough to be missing anybody when the guy in front of him has a track record of never being healthy. And then Wilson today, like shocking. Brian Wilson, agree, disagree. He's a moron. Shocking. Devin White's hurt. Like where's that track record? Like, where's the track record of this injury-prone guy? Like, where is it? That's a Google search to tell you there isn't one. Like, it ain't hard.
That makes it even more suspicious, though. That makes it even more suspicious how this just
that might be
happens.
100% true, that it's a woe is me, I'm not starting. Oh.
No, I'm not even saying that. Who knows? I'm just saying it's really weird. It's hard to create a narrative off of what we know, but it's just weird.
Well, Umberto, they're a bunch of clowns too. Who's their inside sources? Dan Sileo? Who the hell are their inside sources? Because that's the biggest Ponzi scheme there is in terms of digital content and what they put out. All right. So I don't give a shit. Should he be there, Umberto? Absolutely. But you're also talking about a 10-hour flight if there's a real ankle injury. Because if there's a real ankle injury, you don't want that. That's a long flight. So it might be doctors telling him not to go. I'm just giving both sides. That's all. Yeah. I don't have an agenda. My agenda is like, I'm not looking for controversy week one. Jacob Media is, Jeff McClain is, because that's what drives their fucking clicks. And if we can't pick this up yet in 2024 on what's driving everybody's freaking numbers, then I can't help it. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. Doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean he ain't a little, you know what, and doesn't want to play. It doesn't mean any of that. But can we just keep it real? And we'll get back to the poll. I'm sorry. Like, but can we keep it real on, like, what drives these networks to be successful? It is controversy. They don't care. They're not Eagles fans. I gotta put out a public service announcement and explain how this works. And how this has been the only goddamn network here for a decade that's kept it real. The only one. Only one. So tell a fucking friend to tell a friend, and I'll curse all night because it's Eagles season. All right? That phone will be flying tonight because this is the season we're in, and I'm tired of bullshit. I'm trying to win games while other guys are trying to sell numbers. So Dan Sileo can get a paycheck from Jacob Media who didn't pay. I don't do that. We don't do this tonight. All right? We can do it. I love doing it. I'm just saying. It's definitely weird, Martian. It's for sure weird. I wasn't expecting it. Luke threw me a gigantic hook tonight, and I'm just trying to stay on it and take it through the 5.5 hole. You know
I wouldn't have done it. I
knew Luke was going there because he's been going there so far all year.
I'm really not even a hater. I was just told I was an idiot for thinking he might not be great. So I mean,
listen, like Chuck, sir. I mean, I love you to death, but I'm on Twitter like everybody. So I'm literally scrolling as Tom's talking, and you're like going on a 2-hour thing of basically trolling the Devin White signing the whole time. Like let's not act like, oh no, I'm not mad about the signing. I'm happy that Nakobe Dean's getting the opportunity. Like the track record on Twitter shows a different story, buddy. I mean, and I love him to death. He does a great job.
Yeah,
they do a great job on Monday nights. But let's take the accountability of you're 100% very excited that this is the situation.
Yeah, which is great. Like I love that Nakobe Dean's better. Like how about just that? Like,
we got T GIFs out here. Devin White's messages have been left unread with laughing emojis. Like, come on, man.
What's your track record of being skeptical of him as a player has nothing to do with being happy he's not healthy. Like, what you should be excited about is
or just a signing that's not working out. You should want every signing, every draft pick, every trade to work out. Whether you think he's going to be a great fit or not, you want to be proven wrong. You want to be proven wrong in these instances and say, "Oh man, he was a lot better than I thought he was going to be," and that's definitely not the case.
Well, I'm not saying you cheered the injury. I'm more saying that, like, the injury and him not playing almost excites you into Nakobe playing, which is fine. Like, in terms of that, but like, I don't want the guy to be hurt as my backup. Not saying you want him to be hurt. Like, if Nakobe's better, he's better. And we can just leave it at that, which is great. Right. I don't know I don't know where is your Twitter stuff and all this other stuff. Is that based on the reports from McLean of him not winning the job? Is that more of where your excitement is? Because if that's it, then that's fine. But I don't want to get, this is the thing I'm trying to make. I don't want to get excited. I don't get excited online if right or wrong. That's where I'm different. I'm not going to get excited about being right or wrong.
Chucks, I'm not going to go back and I'm not
we're
going to
all
search
right and wrong all the fucking time. Like, I'm wrong, I'm right. Yeah.
I'm not going to search the Twitter history because I just looked at the last 13 hours and that's the only history I need to see. And nobody's saying, I'm not saying he's excited about that, but he's more excited about being right.
Okay.
Like that,
all right.
He's more excited about being right. That's my point. I would rather be wrong. I get excited when I'm wrong. But he's saying in here, he's saying here, search my Twitter. Oh, I did say I hope White proves me wrong. Go search. Well, the last 13 hours are proving a different alternative motive then. And I mean, this isn't like a dump on Chuck's thing. He's great. He does a tremendous job. But I don't like when people come in. It's not just him. It could be anybody. And they say one thing and act another way. That's not the same thing. Like, you're happy to be right. I would rather be wrong. I'm thrilled when I'm wrong about something. Thrilled. I thought Doug was going to be the worst coaching hire ever. And I could not have been more excited.
You might not be wrong still.
Stop it. I could not have been more excited to be wrong about that. You know what I mean? It makes it even better.
You don't have to claim yourself being wrong yet. Like, let's be
real. Stop it, Greg. Remember Richie Kotite? Come on, Greg.
You guys answer.
Jacksonville hasn't done anything either, so the greatest coach of all time might not be good.
God. Nobody said the greatest of all time. All right?
No one said that. No, I get you.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't say it. That's for damn sure.
Well, I didn't say the great. Yeah. What do you guys think about the poll? Since we went flying around here on Devin White, Chuck's getting grenades thrown at him.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be me too when I brought that up. Thank God.
No,
you just lit the fuse and sat back and let it go.
I know what he was doing. We know what he was
doing.
Don,
I might actually agree with you, Don. I might actually agree with you.
About what? We're doing this.
Yeah, I might actually agree with you.
No, I can't.
Even though he hasn't won jack shit either.
He don't believe any of this. He's going to live and die on that sword just to be that guy.
Which one, Doug or James Franklin?
You and Doug. No, James Franklin, you're spot on.
Yeah, no, they both stink. I actually agree to the poll. I'm going to throw a shocker in there. I actually agree to the poll. I don't get the Packers hype. I really don't. I think they're going to be a good team. I don't think they're necessarily the greatest team that everyone's making them out to be, like Brinks putting them in the Super Bowl. Like, I actually think that our defense, especially in the secondary, matches up very well with their weapons, right? Josh Jacobs might run all over us. I don't dispute that. But I think our secondary and our cornerbacks match up with their wide receivers because remember, their wide receivers are all very young too, so they're not very seasoned. So I think we match up very well with their wide receivers. They don't have a tight end that we have to worry about. So I don't really think – I don't get the hype. I really don't. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're winning the Central. That's Detroit, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't really think they're that great of a team. They might make the playoffs, but so I agree to this. I think we do shut them down.
One thing about like you think they'll make the playoffs, which is fine because year to year in this league, right? But they got better, right? Like they signed Xavier McKinney, they signed Josh Jacobs. Like
but Josh Jacobs is we
No,
see
but-
running backs hit a wall real fast in this league too.
no, but for 1 year he hasn't. Like for this year, he's not.
As of yet.
I got you, and he will at some point. But my point is like they just won a playoff game, and they upgraded their team.
They're good. I'm not saying they're trash. I'm not saying they're going to miss the playoffs. I just don't understand the hype of where they're coming in week 1 and beating us.
No, that I agree with.
And making a deep run in the playoffs with Jordan Love.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, somebody's got to agree to the poll, right? So I'm just more debating.
But this isn't just for the show. This is legit. I think they will shut them down.
Oh, okay.
I think the Eagles are on a mission this year, to be honest with you.
Well, I listen. I don't have them giving up a lot of points in this game. Like 24 is not a lot, right? So it's not like I just think we're that good offensively that we put up 30 on your ass. You know what I mean? That's how it should be.
And then when you get down quick, your offensive playbook goes out the window.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm just not buying the Packers' love. I'm just not buying it. I don't see it very much. I don't see it like on paper. I'm sure that you can add pieces here and there, but I don't necessarily think Josh Jacobs, although he might torch us because that's just what people do. I don't think he's going to be the same guy he was in Oakland, Las Vegas, whatever they're calling themselves these days. I don't think he's going to the North, whatever. Chucks.
Well, he's in baseball mode. Greg's in baseball mode.
Fuck out of here. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't think Josh Jacobs has that great of a year.
But so like and we bring up Josh Jacobs, he's going to run all over this team. I mean, Josh Jacobs in his career has 6 carries for 29 yards and 1 touchdown in the only game he played against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's from StatMuse. So he hasn't had. There's no track record of history that he's done well against the Eagles. Yeah, and isn't Jordan Davis's strength stopping the run? If anything he does, isn't he great at filling the gaps? I mean, that was what his hype was coming out of college, right? Not fast enough, doesn't have the feet to really get to the quarterback, but he plugs up the holes and stops the run. So I'm not really concerned incredibly with the defensive line in this particular game. And I don't want to say I think Jordan Love is overhyped. I've seen that overrated and stuff in the comment section, but I do find it very peculiar that he had a tale of 2 seasons last year when you talk about his first half to his second half. And yet people are giving him, like, making him the sneaky MVP candidate, right? But yet, the Eagles go out and they add a Saquon Barkley, and there's a lot of the quote-unquote pundits out there who don't want to give Jalen Hurts the benefit of the doubt that he could have that bounce-back year this year and be somewhere in the middle or closer to the 2022 and the 2023 version, which I think is where he's going to end up standing at. And, depending on what your definition of shutdown is, do I think they could keep them at 20 or less points? I do. I really do. I think this defense is ready to come out, ready to make a statement. And I think the offense is going to explode. Like, I don't think this is going to be a very close game at all. So I'm going to actually join along with Greg, because to me, in the NFL today, if you can keep them under 20 points, you shut a team down, especially with a high-powered offense like this. So I'm going to agree with Greg. I think that they do shut down the offense for Green Bay.
Yeah, and I think the one thing he said, I mean, Jordan Davis playing as a nose tackle is a better spot too than playing in a 4-3. So, and line up over guards. I think you'll have more success over a center and be able to take on more blocks that way than he would line up over the guard. So that's where I think we'll really see a better version of him.
Well, I think too,
I'm excited for.
The thing with Green Bay too is, I mean, listen, I like Romeo Doubs probably more than a lot of other people have in the past. I mean, he seems to be a name people are coming on with now. Christian Watt's a good wide receiver. He has his big plays, but like the offense isn't anything that I look at and I go, oh man, this is going to be like an incredibly tough matchup. If you can contain Jordan Love from making those extra plays, then I think that you could have a lot of success against this team. I think their offense was scarier last year with their running back core than what we're looking at. And I like Josh Jacobs, but I don't think he's the same player. And again, there's not a history there where he's run all over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna put one game against it, right? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put that one game that we played against them as the only piece there. I agree, though. I don't think he's that much of an upgrade over Aaron Jones, other than he just typically stays healthy a little bit more, right? And Aaron Jones is always getting hurt, but you know what I mean? So I just think, like you said, I think our strength of our secondary and our cornerbacks match up very well with their strengths of their young wide receivers.
Yeah, they do. But I think they have enough explosive plays in them to get to like that 24. Like we're splitting hairs when we're talking about like, under 20 or 24, right? Like we're sort of like splitting hairs there on how that can happen, right? Like you could have that team at 17 and be arguably like shutting them down, but you have 34 and they get a late tutty, so like there's a lot of ways that can happen too, where you have you're in control of the football game and a late touchdown really it impacts the stat wise, but doesn't impact what we just watched. So I think that's important too on like, how do they get that 24 or whatever it may be, right? Even like, okay, they give up 17, but it's 17 in the first quarter, right? Like, hey, 17-0. Like probably not a great time, probably not the best of time there, and you lose 17-14. And we're like, what? Oh my God. So, we'll see, but I'm excited. I agree with you guys. I mean, I think there's a lot of positives on this defense. And I think there's a lot of young, exciting players that could really have some breakout years. And that's what we're banking on. I know about the pass rush, Umberto. I think that's where, having Vic really helps us. And some of these athletes where he can line them up at different spots and do some things and be creative and find ways to get after the quarterback. And
I think that's the main point with Vic, though, because I don't find it a coincidence if they bring him in there and now all of a sudden they draft two guys in the first two rounds in the secondary. They bring back CJGJ. Even when he was dominant defensively, defensive-minded coach in Denver, they didn't have ridiculous pass rushes. They didn't. They beat you outside in. And I think that's clearly the way the Eagles are going to go by it. So I think sack numbers are probably going to be lesser than what we're used to seeing a dominant defense look like. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. That's just his way of coaching. So,
but turnovers could go up with that.
Right. Yes, no doubt. I think interception numbers will go up. It doesn't mean, that's the worst thing ever. But I don't think that there's as much stress and reliability on your pass rush as per se like a Jim Schwartz used to be. It's like if you weren't sacking the quarterback, you weren't stopping anybody.
Yeah, that's true too. Hey, Jason, he says, my guys, can someone tell me who the fuck is a cornerback playing next to Slay and is he any good? I'm from Toronto. Covers up here for the NFL is rough. It is Isaiah Rodgers, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And he is when he's not gambling on the game. So hopefully that's behind him. But he is a good cornerback. And I think he'll be a really good number 2. Next to Slay. So that's exciting to see too. So you got that. You got CJGJ, like we just talked about, right? Reed will be hurt in 3 weeks, but I like Reed when he's on the field for the most part. The biggest question Greg brought up tight end, and it doesn't matter, like, they don't have like somebody who scares you, but that's been an Achilles heel of ours.
Yeah, Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, right? Like,
so you hope those days are behind us. But you're hoping those days are behind us of those types of guys beating you per se. So, they're definitely upgraded. They're better. And we'll see how much better they are. Right. But last year was atrocious. So,
yeah. And in theory, if you're running a 3-4, one of your linebackers should be able to cover a tight end. Right. I mean, you have enough of them out there. Even if one or two of them are rushing the passer, somebody should be able to cover a tight end.
Ringo starting?
I didn't see that. But I was gonna say I don't think he will line up as a number 2, but I think our second best cornerback's the guy we didn't even talk about yet. It's the guy we picked in the first round.
Yeah.
He's legit.
Yeah, Quignon.
Yeah.
I mean, two guys.
Yeah,
are
I think
saying
I think he's starting in the slot.
Quignon, yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah.
Quinn
He's not gonna
I thought Rogers
yeah.
was the other outside guy.
Yeah.
No,
Quignon's in the slot.
Everybody's saying it's Ringo, though. Everybody's still saying it's Ringo. Got a lot of people in here.
I mean, but what I find interesting is like
I saw two different depth charts. I've seen some say Ringo and some say Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. But like, where does Maddox fall on all these? Because obviously with
he's a free
Blankenship, I mean, you have him.
No, he backs up.
CJG. So he's not even. All right, my opinion. Like I like Reed. It was a great draft pick, obviously, for the value you got out of him. I don't love him enough to play him over both of those guys when they're healthy. That's just me. I don't know about anyone else. That's just
I mean, Sidney Brown.
I think he's slow as hell, and pass coverage, it is a definite problem.
Yeah, I think Sidney Brown, obviously, when he's cleared, Matthew asked when he will be. I think like 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe he's on the pop or whatever.
So
yeah,
the one thing with Rogers, real quick, it could be Keely because Rogers has been limited in practice with a hand injury. So maybe that's why they made that decision.
Okay. I did see a Q next to his name.
As of a day ago, the last report, he's questionable. Yeah. As of yesterday, it said Rogers was a limited participant in practice with a hand injury.
Okay, so that's the only reason it would be Ringo then. That'd be the only reason.
And we haven't even mentioned Bradbury yet either.
No, who's also playing safety.
Yep.
Who's also on the IL.
Yeah,
we have two corners. We have 2 corners playing safety now. Crazy.
We spent 30 minutes talking about him, only for the next day for him to go on IR.
Yeah,
seriously.
That's my luck. That's our luck, right?
Yeah, Bruce, they are. The Packers wide receivers are big and physical. They are. They need Ringo on them. Well,
yeah, but
Rogers has a better track record than Ringo, though, in the National Football League.
Yeah, I don't think he's gotten a fair shot, though, Ringo.
No, but it's where you're drafted, too. Like, it matters.
That made no sense either. It didn't make sense then. It doesn't make sense now. It never made sense why he fell that far.
We'll take it, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I don't get that at all.
Yeah, I have no problem. Like, whoever, listen.
5-star recruit. He was on those Georgia defenses, and now you give him a shot, and albeit a preseason game, he looks like the best player on the field.
Yeah, I listen. Again, you go win, you go beat somebody out. I'm all for draft picks going and winning battles because that's why you do that kind of stuff. That's why you make yourself deep as a roster. Because when you make yourself deep as a roster, now you're competing within. And when you guys get guys that are competing within with the guy next to them, and we got a lot of that on this roster, iron sharpens, baby. You just get guys that get better. You just get better naturally from competing.
Yeah, for sure. And that secondary is super deep. You know what I mean? I know they ended up cutting guys like McPherson and Josh Jobe and stuff like that. And I know that wasn't necessarily easy on them because I know they like those guys in previous years. Obviously, you upgrade and you draft. Your first 2 guys are going to take someone's spots, right? So the low-hanging fruit's there. But that they like that secondary. They like the depth there. They like the youth there and the athleticism there that I think they're happy with anybody that lines up across from Darius Slay. Well, maybe not anybody. That's why we moved Bradbury. But any of their new guys.
Yeah.
Whether it be Ringo, Rogers, Mitchell, obviously in future plans, right? I think they're super content with those guys going
DeJean
forward. Even DeJean, yeah.
More of a project, but yeah.
What up, Frozen Waffle?
Oh,
maybe
he
can get arrested for tweeting in Brazil.
I'm hoping for it.
And Sam says he fell because of Marvin Harrison Jr.
He did torture him.
Yeah, he did. But no, like this is the first time in a while we're in a good place and talking about our secondary and how deep they are. So, that's really good stuff. It really is. And this is why drafting matters. This is why drafting matters.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what allows you to get deep.
It's new, right, Tommy? We're not used to that, especially in the secondary, right?
Yep.
In the past, we've had to go out and sign the free agents like we did with Slay or trade for him, right, in Bradbury. And then you draft the guys late, right? You draft the guys late or pick them up off the, undrafted free agents, which those guys can play for a little bit, but they're not always impactful, right? They're not always, that top end, right? They're good depth pieces, but they're not always that every week, 17, 18-week starter.
Yeah, you're right. Man, I just had something. I had something. I would want to do score predictions, obviously, and players of the game. And dive into like some of what you guys think are some of like the key matchups in this one for the Eagles to win and sort of what positions. But the other thing you were saying, Greg, like when you talk about when we're talking about winning drafts, right? Like Devin White gets hurt and there's no Nakobe Dean. That's where you get torched.
Yeah.
Right. That's where you have that night where somebody runs all over you because you don't have, an NFL caliber starting linebacker, right? Which we've witnessed, right?
Yeah.
So
all too often.
Yeah, that's why just like drafting matters. Hashtag drafting matters, right? Like it just does. Like hitting on picks, late picks, early picks. It don't matter. You got to hit. You got to, and they've been. Across their fingers that they do hit, but it's looked like a lot of these guys have at least hit enough to make rosters and be on the team and be fighting for playing time.
Yeah. Before we get into score projection, Tommy, let's everybody over on YouTube and wherever you're at, hit that like button. We are already at 30 likes, but there's 70 people watching on YouTube.
Let's go. Get over.
Let's get us to 50. Let's get us to 50.
Dude, we so shy for? Like, I mean,
I know our group.
Fuck with an algorithm and get over 100 and get more people in here. We're trying to win a football game Friday
night.
Let's
go.
Let's win a football game. It's unbelievable with you. 70.
If everybody liked it,
not everybody
at 100.
So not
everybody who liked it, we would be at 100.
Yeah,
let's do it.
That's what I'm saying. Lock in and grow up, Peter Pan. You want half the people to hit the button. No, I want 70 doggies that are giddied up and geared up for Friday night to pound the like.
Let's go.
Let's go. On to you. Oh, well done, sir. Well done. In rhythm for 3.
Boom! From way downtown.
Look at him gather his puppies. My favorite guy. Oh, there he is.
There's the blue meanie.
There's the blue mean. Looking good, fellas. Can't believe the season is upon us. Fly Eagles flying. We'll be seeing them Friday morning.
Uh-oh.
Little game day preview show with myself, Big Dad, and Brian, the Blue Meanie.
It's always great. Now football season is around.
And when Meaty starts popping up on A2D radio, it's football season.
Habib, I mean, I it's his 4-for-4 show, babe, or the Sixers moving to Jersey. I don't care. I don't. As long as you ain't moving to like Oklahoma, like I'm good. Like Jersey, Delaware, I don't give a shit. As long as you're in my radius, I don't care what you're calling.
I'll say this: as long as
it'd still be called Philadelphia.
That whole downtown project on Market Street is an awful idea. So,
that's a disaster.
If they need to move to Jersey to make that not happen, oh my God, I don't do it.
Every idea they've had has been horrible, including this one, which, spoiler alert, it's a fake idea. They're getting leverage, so don't buy anything into it. It's crap.
Oh, yeah, of course. But there's room down there to build another one.
Yeah.
We talked about this the other night. Like, there's room down at the complex to build another one.
Because NBA arena is not that big of footprint.
No, and Greg, the crazy thing is like, why would you want to be out of that district? Like, why would
morons.
Because they're idiots. It's been who's
they're
running
morons.
our franchise. That's why I want to change. Maybe we'll break whatever curse is over us. All right.
Yeah.
The Jersey Sixers. I mean, that sounds like shit, but I'm in. Change the culture one time. A little Jersey tough.
Get
right?
the
Phillies
Deptford.
getting a little soft. Philly ain't the same. You know what I mean? Philly ain't the same as it was 20 years ago. Get everybody from Philly's in Jersey. Get them over here. Everybody from Philly's either in Jersey or in Florida. Well, we ain't sending them to Florida. So get them over here. All right? Get them on this side of the bridge where they belong.
Get the Deptford Sixers.
Yeah, because everybody's from there anyway. Everybody from Deptford probably was in South Philly 20 years ago.
Not wrong there.
Knock down Adelphi and build a stadium over there.
You might as well knock down the mall. Right? Who goes to malls anymore?
Yeah, and down there is just.
But you want to talk about a traffic nightmare? Go to the mall.
Bruce has said he just stumbled upon us.
Welcome, Bruce.
What up, Bruce? How often do you all go live? We're live every Wednesday at 10:15, and then me and Greg and the guys on Agree Disagree every Sunday night around the same time. And then we have Eagles Talk on A2D on Monday night. And then Tuesday night, we got Flyers Talk on A2D. And we have a wrestling show in this very ring on Friday night. And we got the final whistle too is on.
That's on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, that drops.
It's Fridays as well, right? Early Friday.
Yeah,
Evening Friday.
Like
you don't miss us, Bruce. Hit the subscribe and hit your alerts, buddy. Just like everybody else out there.
Where are you joining from, Bruce? Where you at?
Hey, where you at, Bruce? Where you located?
Bruce?
And El Yeppe.
Yeppe, let's go. Go
First time here. Go Birds. Go Birds.
Where are you from?
Where are you from? Where are you from?
We're big old family in here. Bring it in for the real thing.
Come on in
for the real thing. Let me get those hands on you.
Listen, I don't speak
El
Martian.
Paso, Texas. Okay,
Martian, you gotta go to Pete's DMs. I'm not here to speak upon, where guys might be, where Pete Evans might be right now. You got to ask Pete.
I was trying to figure out what that even said.
Well, I know. You know what I mean? I'm locked in. Yeah,
well, that's why you're the boss man.
But what I'm saying, look at you going at Martian now. I'm saying
I wasn't going at Martian. I just needed a little clarity, and then you brought it up, so I'm clear.
I'm hoping to see Pete Evans on Agree Disagree on a Sunday coming up in the near future. That's where I'm expecting to see him. So, I'll leave you with that, Martian. That's the most I can tell you. Because that's what I'm expecting him. Wilson never shows up, so I'm expecting Pete to show up.
Wilson's got a barbecue, or Wilson's
got
a party.
You're going to do this, Don? This is what you're going to do tonight, Don? You're going to do this? I mean, Dykstra was whipping his dick out live on air. That's what happened to the show. All right? Lenny.
Canceled.
That's what happened to the show.
Canceled.
Lenny and the block. The girl from the block. Canceled the show.
We got Bruce from El Paso. Habib's a Philly transplant in Buffalo, New York now. Love that.
There you go.
Habib went up north. Habib, you're a wild doggy. You went up north. Was it for work, family? What was it for? Who the hell goes to Buffalo? People are going to get out of there.
How many tables you go through, Habib? You moonlight with the Bills Mafia. That's a fun group. I would.
Oh, Martian. Well, a lot of shows disappear because a lot of people have their fucking hands out, Molly. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their hands out because everybody in this business think they're a goddamn superstar. I'm just gonna keep it real. Let people disappear. Second, you tell somebody, there ain't no funds to pay you. People are, I'm famous. Are you?
Alberto's in from
I'm just saying, are you? Because if you're famous and you're on here, where's the fame? Me and Crow talk about it a million times. Brian Dolan, one of my heroes. We outviewed him. So where's the fame? I'm just saying. I don't know, because people want the real shit. You want real shit. That's what it is. I learned some over the last year. Some change, 2 years, right? Greg, I learned some things.
Absolutely.
On what the people want. I made mistakes here, but the people want real. They don't need like some guy, no disrespect to anybody, but that's not what they're looking for. It's not what they're looking for. On this side, in this world, in the social world, that's not what they're looking for. On drive time radio, that's absolutely what they're looking for. Make sense? So there's different markets, and you got to know what you're dealing with, right? You gotta know what you're dealing with. It's not a shot at nobody. I mean, Molly, all you guys want to bring up shit. You know what I mean? Listen, Frozen Waffle, Hollis and Irv are the best. Hollis is my guy.
Nothing bad
Through
to
and
say
through.
about him. Yep.
I got nothing bad to say about them. I got nothing bad to say about any guy who we brought in here to do shows. I don't have a bad thing to say. What I'm saying is, you learn. People love Hollis and Irv, right? That ain't the question. But you learn what people are really looking for, right? And honestly, it is full transparency. We don't have the budget to do it anymore. We tried something. The guy who brought these shows in was a loser and a liar. That's what happened. So you want the full transparency because we're open book here. We're right leader of real talk. Craig Kaplan's a piece of shit. So that's what happened. You want honestly? You go Google him. All right, get in his inbox. All right, he owes us about $45K. All right, so get up in his inbox. I'll do this. I'll expose the world. I don't care anymore. I'm at the point where I've been doing it for a decade. I do not care. Cancel us. Try to cancel us. Sue us. Do something. Because then we're on to something. You know what I mean? I love a little lawsuit. Love a little cease and desist. I don't know. And while we're at it, all the dudes from the Liberty line, like, get on Amtrak then, right? Get on the line. Get on the line then and ride it, because the dumbest name in the world. And secondly, ain't nobody stealing nobody's goddamn content. Do you actually think a depth chart of the Philadelphia fucking 76ers is your created content? So if somebody sends me a screenshot of a depth chart with nothing else, and I use that screenshot of the depth chart in an image, you think I stole your content? You think you're that big where I stole your content? I don't even follow you. Well, how would I steal your content? I don't steal content. You understand how people don't even understand how content works. We got content literally post on NFL memes, literally ripped from us, and never a credit.
With our watermark.
With watermarks. Like, that is stealing content. Stealing content, if I take your tweet and I use it, that's helpful for you, you morons. I don't need to put an HT credit at the bottom and write your name in there. Your name's right there. Right there in the image. I'm just helping people how content works, because I'm tired. I'm tired about trying to make a name for themselves. Oh, come at time on Twitter because they'll respond. Guess what? I didn't, because I don't care. But I care enough to expose you and your stupid company and all you guys that think you're fucking insiders and you're dry jocked up to be a great writer, right? Nobody reads. Nobody reads. It's 2024. Nobody reads. So how successful are you going to be? Sorry, I'm just getting it all out. It's clear. It's clear the lungs out tonight on A2D. All right, because I'm tired of all these guys who just started this and they're all trying to be somebody. Like, we've been doing it forever. Forever. We're just trying to be ourselves. We're trying to have a good time. We're trying to talk sports. Ain't nobody stealing nobody's content. Nobody's that important. Jake Rabini, Rabadi, whatever your freaking stupid name is. All right? I don't even, nothing you do is good. You did a depth chart. Congratulations. A lot of insight. A lot of insight to Google information. It took me a while to do. That's what he said to his buddy. Victor Williams, another clown. Like, there's so many guys on Twitter that think they're big dogs in the Eagles market. You know, you guys know what I'm saying. You guys know exactly what I'm saying. So we all got paint a mother effing face up in here. Well, we got our paint faces up in here to be somebody. I'm serious. What we're gonna do this again? What makes you a fan? You got to be extravagant. You got to travel. You got to have a cool sign. I'm just saying. You want to do this? All right, we're done. I'm done. I'm sorry, guys. I'm apologetic to the people for attacking the world. All right. Print is dead, frozen waffle. Frozen waffles are still delicious, though. when you get them in the toaster, obviously.
So somebody in here from Australia, by the way, what's up to you?
They might not be back after that rant. They're going. Yeah, we're just having a good time. And Eagles win 34-24.
34-24.
Listen, I'm not going to run from the fact that they better be lighting it up. Or I will be the first guy begging for a one-glove game. Never. That would never happen. That was a joke.
It's two gloves.
That was a joke. I was trying to get the one off.
I might actually like him if you wore one glove.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get the one glove off, but he stinks. But that being said, like this is a big season for Jalen Hurts. All right, it really is. And yeah, I'm the only one who knows the Charles Bassey and the gifted jersey. So, but love you, Johnny. Remember, 39 months. Look at John. The best. And we're almost there, Johnny. You know what I mean? We're almost there. Oh, right, Luke? Hey, I see the shirt on. We're almost there, baby.
5 weeks.
We're
5
almost
weeks.
there.
5 weeks.
There's under
Preseason
the
ball.
radar. There's under the radar, ready to win 62 games.
Oh,
The only thing I would say about them is they are never under the radar. I think that might be their biggest problem, is that they're always not under the radar.
Quinyon for Pro Bowl, Habib says. That would be delicious. But no, it's really.
I'll go through a table if Quinyon goes to the Pro Bowl.
All right, you guys heard that at the 51-minute mark.
Yeah, we clip that.
Yep, that's it. That's in the chamber.
Talk about content creation. There we go.
It's
what I'm here for.
We should do it anyway.
Yeah.
Do it anyway. But no, it's a big season for Jalen Hurts. It is, and I'm not looking. 100%. Not looking to go after him. I don't want none of that. Right? Just talking about not one controversy. But with this talent, it's a big season for all them guys, and they need week one. There's no excuses. Right? There's no didn't play the preseason. But there's no excuses to not be gassed all the way down, right? Like you got that pedal hitting the floor. That's how we should be rolling. So 34-24. And then when you what up, Derek? And when you guys all go, then we'll circle back around for players of the game.
Yep.
Score-wise, I'm right. I'm with you in terms of the Eagles. I got 34-17.
Oh, love that.
Oh.
I do.
I do too until the late score, right? So that we're. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, so maybe one of us might be right if they can hit that 34 mark and stick right around there. But I really do. I believe that this defense shuts down and keeps them under 20.
Luke?
Love that. Make sure you get your score predictions in.
I mean...
And screenshot them.
I don't want to be the guy. But
we all need one. And it's usually me, so I appreciate you.
I think I'm going to be the guy because something about me just can't get over what happened last year. I just can't. I did myself a favor. I looked back just so... I know the internet works. I don't want to get caught saying some things that, going back on my takes. I said something last offseason. I said if Nick, Jalen, and Howie are all brought back, there's no chance that they win a Super Bowl because something happened. And I can't do it. I just can't. I still think something's there. And Greg will appreciate this. There's something that kind of reminds me of a Penn State vibe with the Eagles right now. Someone who roots for both teams. It's you look at this and you look at how the quarterback should be better. Looking at the season before, the quarterback should be better. The coach is probably the most scrutinized person on your entire team, right? And you hire a new coordinator to hopefully make it look different. But at the end of the day, that guy is still there. And I just can't get over it. So for that reason, I think they're going to go like 11-6, divisional, probably championship game. But I'm going to say that they lose this one. Probably I'll go 27-24.
No, at least you got it close, not a blowout.
These, I'll tell you what, Luke, you're probably the best young guy we've ever had on here, but you do follow the trend of the young guys we've had over the years on here. They're just like
Negative.
They get so caught up in like the recency of things that they're just like, I just can't get past it. It's a bit of pattern, and you're usually not like that, but it just kind of reminded me of having to explain to guys what it was like when Eagles really sucked back in the day. Not just a 7-game stretch when they were the Pigeons in the late 1990s before Andy Reid, from 1960 to 1998.
Martian's the best. I mean, listen, you're not wrong on a lot of things you said, but if something happened, then that means our quarterback's a diva.
Maybe he's one of the three. You could be right.
But Nick's a figurehead. We know that. So that's not new news. That's not new news to me.
Well, and Greg can relate to this too. I think the same thing of Franklin. Like, the more I really honestly think about it, they are the same person. They have little to no involvement as to a game plan or what the hell is going on. They're totally dependent on their coordinators, and they'll say anything to the media to make you feel like that they're doing their job well. Like, they are literally a spitting image of each other. They're the same.
Yeah, I'm just saying they better not lose. They better not. And you, like, this is where I love that you're going the other side of this too. Like, so, trying to find ways to like make an argument against it. Does the hiring of 2 guys who literally could be head coaches in this league in those spots? Because for me, it changed my belief going into this year, those hires, right? And then you get a Saquon, you bring a CJ Gardner back, who are both great leaders, right? And CJ brought toughness to our defense that we were missing, a ball hawk, right, Luke? Like, there's things that we went and did. My question to you is does that sway you at all?
I mean, I did just watch going back to Penn State. They did get a new offensive coordinator. It's all of a sudden they throw the ball down the field. So it's possible, but I'm just saying, like, in that sake, I still think they're going to lose to Ohio State. And in this sake, I just don't know if this is enough. And I've always said I think it's a 2-year window. I don't think they're winning. I don't think you can make all these moves and put it together and win a Super Bowl year one. I think this is more so of a next year, fill those holes. You kind of see what you got. Hopefully all their coordinators come back, and it's a next year's your real Super Bowl run. That's what I've thought this whole time.
Why?
Because I think that you can't put all these guys right back in together. It's not like basketball where there's 5 guys on the court. You don't really know what the whole is on this team until we've really seen it yet. And I feel like a lot of it is the linebacking core. I guess we'll see what happens with this head coach. I think a lot of questions will be answered now that there's no debate over the offensive talent. There's no debate over the secondary. You're really going to find out what's going on inside of that thing. That's why I think it's different.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it, I think they're different in a big way, and I want to believe that too. And I believe they have the leadership here. Again, I'm not saying Jalen's a diva. I was more to that thing. I was more saying, like, well, then if there's a problem, the problem with him,
right? Yeah.
That's more of my concern. I don't believe he is. But I think there's things that affected him last year too, in terms of a lot of money, a lot of expectations, and coming off a Super Bowl. Like, we talk about this, man. It's a long year for that, and there could be a little bit less attention to detail, right? It's just the little things, because the little things win. The little things win. So, I want to believe that collapse is a thing of the past, because we moved on from a lot of guys that were part of that collapse. Right? If you think about it. And we've kept a lot that are, right? Of course, like we have. But, you look at our defense, right? There's no Fletcher Cox anymore. There's no Hassan Reddick. None of those linebackers are back, right? Like your secondary is revamped in a way. Like, you just made so many different things, and you added so many different players that I think your hope is that changes the chemistry in the locker room. And you have a lot of guys that you're full of team captains. Like when you go look at the 3 backup defense interior linemen, you're going to be shocked. Like I didn't realize at the point, like the one guy's a Stanford grad who was like, has all kinds of accolades, like academically, but then obviously, a team captain for 3 years, right? Like that matters in your backup roles, right? Like those guys, those kinds of like, there's leaders where you're looking for those types of guys that were also productive, but they had leadership capabilities, right? And they were looked upon at that kind of stuff. And the more we have a lot of that were college leaders that are here. And I want to believe in it. Like I'm looking for ways to believe. I'm looking for ways to say, like, listen, no, there's no excuses to not be a Super Bowl contender this year. There is none. There is none. Changeover happens all the time in the NFL. Your changeover made you better. That's even more of not having an excuse. It's not the days of the past where like, oh, it's hard to put in an offensive system. You have months to do this. Like it's not like guys are just getting the playbook in August. Like that, that you're being fed that early. That's like priority number 1. So I don't know. And because a lot of these guys on offense have played together. So that's where I'm like on the offensive side, like, no, like there's no reason to not be a team that lights up week 1 and on.
And to that point, to your point, Luke, I don't know that this coaching staff makes it a second year if we go 11-6, right? And we don't make it at least, you know what I mean? Like, so,
that was
so like to your point, right? Like, and I don't necessarily disagree that it could be potentially a 2-year window where if you don't win it next year, or this year, then next year is all in. But if you're around that 11-6, 10-7, I don't know how at minimum Nick isn't gone. And then you're looking for someone else, right? You know what I mean? Whether that's Vic, Kellen, or you're going outside and leaving those guys. So that's my only, kind of throwback to that is, potentially the 2-year, 3-year window isn't necessarily, outrageous. I don't know if we don't make it to a conference championship Super Bowl again this year with the way our offseason was last year. I don't know that Nick's back.
I was just going to ask the same thing because I was going to relate it back. Same thing with Penn State. If they don't make the playoff, you have fun on your first flight back home. That's it. Same thing with us. It's like if you don't make the NFC title game, you need to be good enough to win 2 playoff games. There is no world in which 2 teams within your conference should be better than you. That is legit unacceptable with this talent. Like, can't
100%.
happen. But I'm also
100%.
I just want to make it very clear. I'm not shy about it at all. If we do win this game, I'll come up here with my pom-poms out, no doubt. That's all it takes to sway me. I'm going to go either way on this one. They lose, I think the sky is falling. And if they win, I think we're right up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough environment. Not necessarily the environment, but it's a tough circumstance around the whole game, right? Like the whole 10-hour travel and playing in a weird city, with all the distractions that come with that. But I like I said, I don't buy into the Packers hype. I don't really get it. They're pretty good on defense. Their ends are really good. Preston Smith and Gary, right? They're really good on their ends, and obviously with Jair Alexander, McKinney in the back in the secondary, they're going to be good back there. They're going to compete. Clay Walker, yeah, absolutely. They're good on defense. They're good on defense. I just don't know that their offense is going to be as explosive as everybody thinks it's going to be.
Well, that's all on Jordan Love, right?
Yeah.
Like that's literally that's Jordan Love.
I am right with you guys, you and Chrome, you and Tommy, score wise, but I'll go different slightly. I'll go 33-17. I'll hit a 33 pool number right off the bat. We'll get those guys paid out early. But I do. I think I'm with you guys. I think the offense has to put up a lot of points early and often. and I think they do.
Yeah, Brian's right. I mean, how many times did the TV cameras pick up Nick lighting up his whole staff on the sidelines for not doing their job? Yeah. I mean, he does like a cruise ship magician.
And that's the other thing too. Like early in last year, they were talking about firing Peter LaFleur, and now all of a sudden he gets this. He gets to the playoffs. They win a game, and now he's the greatest coach since sliced bread. Now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, right? Like it just reminds me a lot of like the nonsense we get fed every year with Dallas, right? Oh, this is their year. This is their year, right? Their coach is so great. Mike McCarthy's so great. He's so changed. Green Bay was running Peter LaFleur out the door, and then Jordan Love started playing, and they turned him around.
Matt, not Peter.
No, I know it's Matt.
Oh, you just okay.
I'm calling him Peter LaFleur from Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well done, sir.
Average Joe's Gymnasium.
Yeah. I mean, I'm back.
Locked in.
Back in. But listen, I mean, they're good. I don't have them in a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I have them. They're definitely winning a playoff game, in my opinion, because I think they're good enough to do that. But I'm not. I don't know what the record is. I'm not. Bobby Eagle said he's right with you, Greg. He thinks they're like an 8-8 team. I think that defense is way too good healthy to be 8-8. Way too good healthy.
Well, let's see.
I think that the Lions are very, very good, but that division is sneaky good.
Yep.
I mean, the Bears are a team that could create a lot of noise in that division. Those teams might be beating up on each other all season.
Mike McCarthy looks like he has sleep apnea. But no, that division, you're right. I mean, that division's tough outside of one team, right? So
even that team, I wouldn't be surprised if they go 500 either.
Well, they could, right? It's just
that is a stacked team
no
division.
Yeah, no quarterback.
There's a chance that they're 8-8. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
there's a chance that they're like 10-6, right? So you start off real quick. Eagles.
10-6, big difference.
Well, yeah, but all right.
10-6 probably gets you in the playoffs.
Yes, it does.
8-8 not getting you in the
Eagles.
It'd be 9-8, right?
Yeah, it'd be 9-8.
10-6 days are over. Yeah.
Host Indy, at Tennessee, host Minnesota, at Rams, host Arizona, host Houston, at Jacksonville, host Detroit. Like you said, Chrome, what is Chicago, right? So they're at Chicago, home San Fran, home Dolphins, at Detroit, at Seattle, home New Orleans, at Minnesota, home Chicago to end the year.
Middle of that schedule is very tough.
Yes.
I mean, you look at
Chicago.
Houston through Detroit. That 6 week.
I mean, look at Chicago. Chicago added DeAndre Swift, right? They added a running back, and then you go and DJ Moore, who accounted as a wide receiver for more offense than any other wide receiver in football for their team last year. You go and you add Keenan Allen to that team.
Keenan and Adunze.
And
I'm really high on Adunze.
I think Cole Kmet is a really good tight end who I think is going to get better and take strides. Like that offense is sneaky good in Chicago.
And I think
Caleb Williams is that good. If he ends up panning out as a number one pick, that might be a 3-team race. I think I'm with you, Greg. I really like Jordan Love. I think he's the real deal. But I like them not having a clear-cut number one. I know they have big physical wide receivers, but them not having a clear-cut number one and
2 threes.
Exactly. I don't know how much tread is on the tire for Josh Jacobs at this point. Mm-hmm. Oh, these are a lot of really young offenses with guys like a Keenan out who has experience as well dropped into them. I think it's going to be a lot tougher for Green Bay than people really are giving the other teams credit for.
You can look across the whole conference though too. I mean, San Francisco, they got to climb that mountain again. You look at Detroit, Their
We'll
coach
see. This might
definitely
be
makes some
their last
questionable
run.
decisions. Yeah, Detroit definitely makes some questionable decisions down late. You look
Doing
at us and our
Applebee's
down.
commercial.
Yeah, it's
I mean, he's doing
our
Applebee's commercial. A great commercial, by the way. But what are you doing an Applebee's commercial for? Come on.
how about we kick? How about we just kick the extra point this year? How about that?
Yeah,
Let's
right.
just kick the extra point.
I don't know. Do you love or hate the fact that he's a guy who just gets in and goes for it?
You know what? I wasn't
He
a
leads
fan.
by his balls.
I wasn't a
I think
fan.
that only worked one time, and I think God was on the field when we won that Super Bowl, and that's it. I don't think it's ever worked outside of that.
Okay, great.
No, I was just saying I was going to comment on. I saw Tommy twitching there when we were talking about the schedule, and I know you can't always look at blocks, right? And I will wait. We'll ultimately wait for him to come back, and I understand where he's going to go, but yes, the NFL changes week to week, right? So we could look at that block of 6-7 games and be like, oh, that's a tough week, tough stretch, and then injuries and other things happen, and Houston's not the team they thought they were, right? Stuff like that. So,
or it could be like us last year, and it goes exactly like how we predicted.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I saw Roger Goodell on McAfee today.
Yeah,
and they talked about how there is, I think is it 9 consecutive seasons
of 5
where
the 5
4 teams that didn't make the playoffs the year
4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 teams, and that's really interesting because like we talk about, right? We sit down and how many years have we broken down the schedule, right? And you sit there and you say that's a win, that's a loss, this and that, but it's so predicated off the previous year, not taking into account injuries, player development, new chemistry, new coaching, this and that. I mean, it really, we could sit here and say, like, Green Bay, everybody's on the Green Bay bandwagon. But why not look at Chicago? Why can't Chicago make that jump like a Jacksonville did a couple years ago, going worse and then winning their division the next year? I don't think there's any chance they win a division over the Lions. But why can't they be a team to jump Green Bay and make that development the next year? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you can say the same thing. Yeah, you can say the same thing like the opposite side of Minnesota, right? Minnesota doesn't have a quarterback, right? Because they obviously Kirk's gone, JJ hurt. You're rolling with, Sam Darnold, but who says that he can't have a year, right? Same thing with San Fran. Who says San Fran can't go down, right? I'm all in on the San Fran downturn. Wait, did you hear about that thing that's happened the last 4 quarterbacks they've had?
No.
I saw this video, and I'm all in. I'm all in on it. So it goes all the way back to Kaepernick. So what? Kaepernick, Alex Smith, and Jimmy G. Throughout their first 22 or 23 games, they all had almost identical records. Like they're 21-2, 22-1, right? Whatever it is. Almost identical records. Setting the world on fire. Every single one of them missed a huge throw in the playoff, in the Super Bowl, that would have put them up or won the game. The previous 3 quarterbacks, Kaepernick, Alex Smith, or Jimmy G, they all got hurt or they all lost their starting jobs the next year. This is Brock Purdy's year, and we all remember the ball that he missed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, right? That's the beauty about sports is you have all these odd, weird tie-ins.
Oh, it's so bizarre, right?
But listen, I'm with you. Like, I still think they win the division, but it wouldn't shock me, man. I think the Rams are going to be really good this year.
Rams are really good.
Yep, I like that a lot.
I just would not shock me to see the Rams win that division.
But you also look at I'm with you, Crum. Like you look at San Fran, there was a lot of turmoil in that locker room all offseason, right? Between Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk holding out. I mean, do we really expect Christian McCaffrey to have the same year again or better?
It's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had a monster year.
I expect that out of him, but that's it. Everyone else, I'm with you. He's just guy.
I had the first pick a couple times and I didn't take him.
Wow.
Because I didn't think he's going to live up to it. Now, if I was second, third too, and he fell to me, I absolutely took him at second, third. But I just wasn't taking him 1 overall.
Yeah, the couple leagues I'm in, nobody took him number 1. I saw
Wow.
Tyreek go before him.
I've seen a couple of Tyreeks. I think I took CeeDee Lamb.
Yep, I saw
But
CD go.
yes, you're right though, Chrome. Like there's always 4 or 5 teams, and it could absolutely happen to us, right? Like, you know what I mean? There's no question. But there's always 4 or 5 teams. I think a lot of the hot names are people think Washington's going to be good.
I think they're a year
actually-
away.
Do you think?
I think
I
they're a
think
year
they're
away.
right there. I think they're right there. I think
wouldn't say
every
right
year-
there.
No. I'm way off. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even said that. I just mean they're right there in terms of like a wild card spot. I see them as one of those new 4 teams, being like barely over 500 and like a game over 500, and they sneak in. I see that. I think that's their ceiling, but I think that that could happen. I love Jaden Daniels.
I could see them being one of those. I could see them being one of those teams that through the first like 14 weeks is in the hunt graphic.
Yeah.
But by those last 2 or 3 weeks, they're faded out and they're gone.
I think
they're
wild
your
card.
way. I do think Jaden Daniels is going to be a really good quarterback for that football team
Listen,
in another year.
I got no money. I'll give you $1,000 if the Commanders make the playoffs.
I'll take that deal.
That's how. And what do I?
I'm not gonna tell you I bet on that, but maybe I did.
You gonna give him $1,000 back? I ain't making it.
Maybe I did.
I just want I just want like a gift card or something. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Gift card back. No, I'll play that. I'll play that game.
I'll get you a Devin White jersey.
There you go. We're like a Jerome McDougal. You know what I mean?
That's a good.
You got to ever play
back. That's a
Oh,
good throwback.
yeah, I think they have zero chance. I mean, you don't go trade one of your wide receivers into your division and stand a chance for your ceiling to be a wild card. I do agree with you about Jaden Daniels. I hear a lot of good stuff about him. Obviously Brian Kelly's going to tell you good stuff, but I like hearing from like other guys, the other coaches on what they think about him, and you hear nothing but really good stuff. So I do think he's going to be a good player. Now, does the organization ruin him? Right, that's the question mark in Washington. But
yeah,
I mean, I just don't think they're a team that's in the hunt yet at all this year. I agree. I think they're a true year away from even like being a wild card team because they don't have enough talent. They have McLaurin and they got they got their quarterback, but they don't have a lot of talent though. And defensively they don't have a lot right now either, in my opinion. Like they just don't. But now they got a defensive-minded coach, so I believe they're going to get there, right? They have some young players. They have some young players for sure. So I mean, I don't want them getting there, but they're going in that right direction. So yeah, but I still think they're a year. I mean, they have to be. Even the Giants, you could argue, are better than them.
Ooh, I wouldn't do that.
I would. Their defense alone is better than you could argue their defense is better than ours. I mean, you could argue the Giants have the best defense in the division.
I don't know about their secondary. Their secondary is a problem.
You're right. Not as good, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll say
but
this.
We've proven, though, that you don't need a top end secondary if your front 4 or front 7 are doing their job, right? We won a Super Bowl that way. We won a Super Bowl with an average group of defensive backs winning their plays while our front 4 just wrecked havoc.
Yeah, let me be clear. Both teams stink, okay? Before we even go any further. Both teams are not there. But if you're going to put the hypothetical gun to my head, right, at 11:44 at night, roster-wise, the Giants are probably better. Like Burns, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, like there is really good.
Yeah.
If those guys are healthy, they're going to be good. Adoree Jackson,
Well, they got a couple playmakers in the draft too, which they needed.
Yep. And their offense, like again, I like the.
They don't have a quarterback though, Tom. That's the problem. They don't have a quarterback.
That's all.
The other team has a rookie, right? So when you look at that, you sort of can like maybe say that's even for a year, right? Because if Jones is healthy, he's still going to probably rush for 800 yards. So he's shown he can take them to the playoffs. He's done that. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just making the point. Like he's been in the dance, right? He's been in the dance. True. No. I'm not. Again, I'm not crowning the Giants. The Giants are
No,
a
I
shit
know.
organization. Their defense is really good up front. So to me, that can keep you, like when we talk about in that hunt of a wild card, it can keep you in that hunt. Again, I don't think they're good enough though, for all the reasons,
I'm gonna say that maybe this is a bold take, but I
Eagles.
do think about Washington in the long run scheme of things. I believe the direction that organization is finally in is in a better place over the next 5 years than what I'm seeing with Dallas currently. Because I think there's a lot going on. First of all, with Jerry, I just don't know that they can get there with Jerry at the helm at this point. We don't know what's going to happen with Micah Parsons. They got a lot of money committed. They still need to sign the quarterback. Micah Parsons still doesn't have a new deal. It took them pulling teeth to get to the finish line with CeeDee Lamb. And they are in a cap hell for the next couple of years. So, I mean, I realistically believe we could be sitting here 2 years from now saying Washington is the team that we have to compete with in this division. And Dallas might be on the outside looking at the other two teams, aside from us.
Yeah, now looking over Washington's roster, obviously they got 3 rookies starting on offense. They have a rookie left tackle, a rookie wide receiver, and a rookie quarterback, right? So some growing pains there, you would think, a little bit. But like not the worst offense you've seen. Defensively, they still have Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, who are really good, right? But on the outside, like Quinlan Farrell, like is he good? I mean, I feel like he was a high pick, but I don't.
He was that Mike Mayock reach for the stars that just didn't pay out. What was he, 4 or 8 overall?
Yeah, I think,
right. He was like a high
4,
pick who never,
4.
who never panned out. So, I mean, Dorrance Armstrong. I mean, Dante Fowler is a backup.
They traded all their guys last year, right? They traded Montez Sweat, right? They traded. I think they probably still have Anderson in the middle, right? Brian, who's the moose from Alabama? I think his name
Jonathan Allen.
Allen.
Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne are still there. Bobby Wagner's the middle linebacker. Jeremy Chin's their safety. Just giving you some names you know. Now, backups are like Dante Fowler's a backup and Jamon Davis, who was a high pick for them.
Yeah.
That is not a bad defense, especially with him calling the plays. That's not a bad defense at all.
Not bad. I just think the 3 rookie, the rookie left tackle, the rookie wide receiver, and
they're young.
Maybe that can keep them back a little bit. But we've seen it the other way though. We've seen those rookies just come in and have instant success.
Yeah,
right. Especially guys who can move like Daniels can too. That's why I'm high on Caleb Williams. There's some good guys in this draft. I like Bo Nix in Denver. I think they might have found their guy for the future and not sort of fell to him because he's a 4-year starter. And I think there's things, sometimes it just fits for guys, right? So I like a lot of quarterbacks in this draft, but Caleb to me was always the one, just because he's a freak. So, and they're loaded. They're loaded on offense. They really are. They're going to be good for Chicago Bears fans because that is a diehard city for their Bears. The Bears.
They're kind of in the same spot we are, right? Like if you don't, win or have a good year with this group, even though you have a rookie quarterback, right? That's a lot to put on a rookie quarterback. But if you're not substantially better this year, then obviously it's the head coach, right? And they're probably going to be kicking themselves for not firing Eberflus last year and just start fresh with a new coach and a new quarterback, right? They essentially are just going to waste potentially a year. Yeah, Dallas is in tough shape because they're not signing Dak, so they're going to choose Micah over Dak, or they're not going to sign both of them, and we know where Micah's going to end up. And then they're going to be the primetime show in Dallas.
Oh yeah, they're going to try to do everything they can to politics.
And then they're going to draft Shador to replace Dak. And that's going to be interesting.
Oh my God, we're going to see Deion Sanders slandering us for the next 10 years. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Again, we're going to go through this pain again. Hey, Luke, you weren't here
for
this one.
I don't know that
you weren't. No. And how many guys were here for this one? Because this is the biggest thing nobody ever talks about. When Ray Rhodes came here, that offseason, Deion Sanders was a free agent. It was reported on ESPN that Deion Sanders agreed to a deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. I was down my aunt's shore house in Avalon. I might have been freaking 10, 11. I don't know, right? I'll never forget where I was. And we got prime time. Oh, to find out that he signed with the Dallas Cowboys. So I got enough of this. Like, I don't need this in my life again. You know what I mean? We might have to go draft Sanders, and we might have to go say, Nick, you're out. Yeah, we're doing like a LeBron move here. We'll do like a LeBron move.
I don't want that circus here. Let that circus in Dallas.
You can bring it here.
Bring that circus to Dallas because it's going to be the same as Colorado. It's not going to work.
Well, it's different in the NFL.
Yeah, you can't just go out and recruit 53 new players to come in every year.
No, you can actually build something if you know football.
Yeah.
And you respect it. And you don't want to do it. You always want to do this with Prime. Florida State should be swallowing them right now. You understand?
Oh my God!
Florida State. It's going to be Dallas and Florida State on either side.
Like,
Dallas and Florida State. They're going to be joined at the
$500 million deal. You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't even wait. I'd go after them now. You know, Norville's done.
Yeah, right now. I'm gonna go sign it. Right now, end of the year. I'll go right after him. But no, I mean, I don't know. The money college football prints out now. Like, you know, you might not be able to pull guys from there either.
Yeah,
I know his son's coming here, but like, he ain't an idiot, bro. You like, we think he's gonna coach his son in the pros. Like, that's a different animal, man.
Yeah.
He knows better than that. He knows how that locker room goes when his son's.
Right, I hear you.
You better be perfect.
He's also already pulling both Travis and Shador are pulling Eli Manning's.
Yeah.
Right. And they're picking where they're going. Like, we're picking where both of those going.
Well,
so you're not telling me he doesn't want to coach one of them, or if not both of them, in Dallas.
I would hope he would be smart enough at the NFL level to maybe not do that.
I mean, he said recently he doesn't really have any interest coaching the pros, regardless of his son or not.
I don't disagree with him at all.
Yeah,
I don't think he's an idiot. I mean,
I wouldn't either, right?
Greg does. Greg thinks Prime's a moron.
No,
right, per se. I think.
My only gripe with Prime, and we'll go back on this all the time, is right out of the jump. I just didn't think he was ready at Florida State. I didn't think he was ready to jump into Florida State. At this point, they got nothing else to lose. Bring the circus to Tallahassee.
I think the circus is
they could use a circus after the Mike Norvell and DJU.
So being great at social media and putting an emphasis on that and selling out somewhere where it's never been sold out, and that's a circus.
And go 4-8.
Well, that's listen. You're
53 new scholarship players this year to go 4-8 again.
I think they're going to get their asses kicked this week. That's my opinion.
I think Raiola is going to torch them.
Yeah.
We're talking about Colorado football, by the way, first and foremost.
Yeah, there's only one already, right? Like, James, there's Prime.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he printed money for that school. Like,
100%.
regardless of it, he's proven that he's going to sell. So, like,
absolutely.
And I think, like, the success he would have, the difference in success from Colorado to Florida State's a little bit different recruiting wise. Just a little different. Like,
I agree there. 100%.
You can throw money at guys, but guys don't want to play in Colorado.
Yep.
Like, if a guy has a choice, a young athlete, he probably doesn't want to play in the cold like that.
Facts. Well, no doubt. I just worry about the stories that you start to hear of people that have left. If they continue to come out and continue to have actual substance behind them, and that's why I said they're just stories, right? Because we don't know if they're true or not. But if they continue to start coming out, then obviously the recruiting trail dries up real fast.
The stories?
Just how he treats some of the guys that aren't the top end guys, stuff like that. You're hearing some of those come out of players that have transferred out. And, like, you know, the hierarchy that it is, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but when you're not. But there's also two sides.
But in Colorado, you could do that.
Well, no.
Right? Or you don't always have to do that.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying when a guy ain't playing, right?
Well, that's what I said.
Playing.
That's why I said there's stories, right? 100%. 100%.
You don't like me.
Yeah.
I ain't Travis Hunter. Well, because no fuck, no fucking
Stud,
shit.
by the way.
Yeah,
Stud.
you ain't like no shit. You ain't Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
like maybe he buys him a car. I don't know, but like because you didn't get a car, you didn't get
Yeah.
a double meal plan. I
You
don't know.
you don't have the Rolls Royce SUV.
Cowboy, Greg.
I'm actually positive. Trash and Prime, I'm in a good mood.
And SJM said that the Eagles officially landed, the Birds officially landed, had to use an alternate private
Jesus.
runway due to limited visibility as a result of the fires in San Paulo.
Yeah, let's just
A
keep
family
going.
member
Yeah.
is an air controller for AA, American Airlines, texted me that.
Yeah,
Wow.
SJM. That's all I fly is American. Let's get some digits here, brother.
Oh, Greg likes leg room. The leg room guy.
Get some leg room.
Know who you're getting in bed with, SJM. You start giving the digits out.
I'll just settle for aisle seats. That's it, right? Like I can settle for an aisle seat.
In first class.
Hey.
I can settle for aisle seats in first class.
Dabble there.
Throw me in a window in first class. I ain't gonna be mad at you.
I had a rare window of an exit row, so I was like, I'd do an exit row window. Wasn't terrible.
I'm a weirdo too. Hate flying, but need to be at the window.
But what screws me, not that it is weird. It is weird. Like,
What's
why
wrong
would you
with
want to be confined?
Well, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why you're scared of heights? Why you want to keep looking out there? Because I find it interesting.
You get good pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like it, but I hate it.
I feel like Crumb when I'm flying. I'm like taking pictures all the time.
I'm dripping. My pits are soaked, and I'm taking pictures. You know what I mean? Oh, it's beautiful.
I had so much leg room. I was out. Had the head on the window. I was out.
I always get excited when I'm by the water though, because I feel like I'll survive now. You know what I mean?
Water
landing. Yeah. I'm like, we're good. I'll just freaking jump out. Going 190.
Let's use the slide. I'm
gonna slide as we're moving. Step into the Atlantic. That'll be fun.
Ugh.
It'll be a good time. 2024 to get somebody there quick.
Yeah.
You're not floating too long.
Because
then I'm worried.
Right there.
Yeah, and you're worried about what's underneath you. Did we do players of the game? Holy
we
shit.
did not.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do that and get out of here.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Oh, man. I don't like doing it to you guys going first either. I don't I feel like the bad guy taking guys. So let me.
100% Martian, by the way. Especially you got to see when I go to Food and Wine Festival in Disney.
He said Chrome looks like a guy who takes pictures of the food before eating.
Add me on the book. You'll get all my my food pictures.
Before we get to the players of the game, 62 people watching.
Link in bio, right? Link in bio.
Link in bio. Spicy link.
Listen, I might start. I might start. Times are tough. You know what I mean? Times are tough. I might just link it in bio.
Link in bio. Feet pics. Feet pics.
Food pics. Food and feet. Who's a foodie?
Food, feet, and fun.
Hashtag foodie. Oh, shit.
65 watching on YouTube. Only 53 likes. Let's go.
We're over 50.
We're over 50, but let's go.
Because you said
But we hit the bar. But we hit the bar.
You said it loud.
And now we go for more.
You low bar setter, yeah. All right.
I'm like Private Colorado. I'm good to go 4-8. But have game day there every week. Rex Ryan.
I said that to my buddy the other day.
He's already got a tattoo.
I was on the phone with my buddy somehow with Cass feet or something. I forget. I was like, hey, dude's like, it was dude. I said, why's this dude acting like Rex Ryan? He's like, did you just call you? I'm like, that was, yeah. I don't know why Rex Ryan. Every time you think feet, you think of Rex. Like, you know what I mean? Not the guy I'm trying to think. Not what I'm trying to think of when I think of feet. I'm not going to go to quarterback because I just think that's just, I should. You know what? Absolutely. I absolutely fucking should. This is accountability talk from Jump Street. It's Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdown passes, 3 total TDs. There you want to go, right? It don't matter.
Yeah, we gotta lather the loins with a little tush push.
Yeah, tush pushy.
Maybe not this year.
Well, that's why you got the guy. but I'll go over 300 in the air, 40 rushing, and 3 total touchdowns. So, but I do think like the names you guys are going to get to, I was going to go Saquon, obviously, and just have him a monster day. So I'm curious which one of you guys gets to him and where your totals are. But yeah, I'll go Jalen offensively.
There you go.
I made my
Luke?
bet. I might as well lie in it. I'm gonna go Josh
you gotta go all in.
Jacobs.
You gotta go
I'm gonna
all
get-
in.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll go Josh Jacobs rushes for 110 and a tud.
110. Wow.
Yeah.
That would be a disaster.
That would be bad. That would be bad.
I'm gonna leave Chrome a whole lot of opportunities here. So Chrome, take your pick.
I already know who I'm going with. Yeah.
I'm going Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata as my
Whoa,
players in the game.
let's go. Let's
Wow.
go.
I need them to stop Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary. I need them to be absolute studs there and keep those guys off our quarterback so that Tommy's player of the game can come through and have a monster day.
Well, I'll double down on this because this is Chrome's guy. All right. The Aussie had a bad year last year. I don't really care what anybody say. He needs to have a better year. He's too good not to. He's too big. He's too strong. He's way more polished, obviously. And that's credit to him and that's credit to Stoutland. But I always say, like, yeah, great coaches help, but you got to be willing to buy in. And he did that. And he had a little bit of setback, but a lot of guys did last year, right? A little bit of a setback. Probably banged up a little bit in different ways, I'm sure, from a long year to year before. So Jordan Mailata is a great name because I think he needs to have a great year for us.
And on top of that, Tommy,
he will too.
You heard a lot of him this offseason, right? Obviously, with the replacing of Kelsey, not obviously him directly, but Kelsey leaving, left a hole there in the leadership role, and it seems like that he holds himself and the rest of that line just as accountable for all their actions, right? So you hope that, to your point, that translates into a bounce back year.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah, my offensive player of the game is not going to be Saquon, although it probably will be. I'm going to go with Devontae Smith here, Smitty. The conversation about how good the connection between him and Hurts has looked in training camp, and knowing that the offense that Kellen Moore runs does like to take deep shots and use their speed receivers, this might be a big game for him. I'm going 100-plus receiving yards and 2 tutties for Devontae.
Love it. Now, for you guys, for you kiddies out there that don't have 12 or 13 wins, okay? I'm going to say this again. All right. We have 4 guys
You're
go.
kidding.
You're kidding. Yeah. You have 4 guys. If 4 guys go tonight, right? Grant Luke's picking Green Bay. I get it. But 4 guys go. And you still have A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley on the table. So, if this offense ain't elite, I'm getting rid of everybody. Like, I don't know. I can't be any more clear about it. Like, we're going to leave arguably the 2 best guys on offense off. That's how good this offense is. How good it is. That's how really good it is. You talk about Lane. You talk about Mailata. I mean, we don't lose when Lane plays.
Yeah.
Cam Jurgens the biggest question mark offensively because we don't know what he is, right? We drafted him to be the guy, and we expect him to be. That's the only question mark besides that on Dallas Goedert, besides him on a depth chart with a Q next to his name. That's the only other question mark on this football team offensively. So when you only have really one, when you have one, and that's a second round pick who was picked to be the guy. So when and that's your one, maybe you can say Steen or Becton, depending on who starts there as a question mark. Okay, all right. Most of you can just circle the whole offense.
Yeah. Every other team in the league would love that offensive line.
Nate, why do you say give me Green Bay plus a 3 and Green Bay first quarter? Why? Think we come out slow? More of a second half? Bunch of second halfies? He is. Blue
well, he said Green Bay plus 3. That's for the game.
Yeah, that's a bad pick. It's a bad pick. Yeah, I'm here to help Nate too. I just told you how good. Like, I don't know how the hell anybody picking Green Bay, like besides Luke, right? But he has reasons, right? He has reasons. But Blue Meaning's right. Brian's right. Smitty is going to benefit from Kel's
No doubt. He's going to look a lot more like Alabama Devontae Smith, moving behind the line. It's going to be exciting. That I'm definitely excited about. He's a great route runner, but he's even better in motion. That's where he was unstoppable at Bama.
Well, and the thing with him too, there's a connection with Jalen Hurts between those guys. And if Jalen, like, he can get those balls that Jalen's not 100% pinpoint on either. He goes and he gets the football. And I think if they target him and they use that speed, which Kellen Moore typically does in his offenses, this could be a monster year for Smitty this year. Monster year.
Couldn't agree more. That's my son. Guys got
also Don. I'm not taking any James Franklin shit this week. You're about to lose by 3 tuds this weekend. You're gonna lose at home. At home.
Yeah. Devontae Smith, a gold jacket cat. So, but no, listen, guys. I just don't know how they're not a 12 or 13 win team. You could take the schedule and throw it out the window. I don't give a shit who they play. It's just how good they should be. Defensive player of the game. Jalen Carter, 2.5 sacks.
Ooh.
All over the fucking football field. All over the football field. Because one, he needs to be because he was drafted to be that. I mean, you can't say, guy should be a top 3 pick, and then he's not all over the football field consistently, which I believe he will be. But that's what he was picked to be. He's the wreck havoc, which, and I think year 2 is going to help him, obviously, with some things year 1 that catch up to you, right? Naturally. But I'll go him and Davis as a combo. I think we're going to be really happy with those two. I'll even throw Milton in because I don't think anybody's going to take him. And if somebody takes him, take him. But I'll throw those 3 into a grouping. I think they have a really strong game because we need them, especially when we talk about some of the things we lack on the outside there. We really need that middle to be strong and be dominant because they were all drafted to be dominant. I mean, Milton Williams, his numbers are off the charts when you talk about lifting and all those types of things. I mean, it's crazy. He's like a freak too. So he was, so let's go. But if you take any of those guys, go ahead. I would really just take a Jalen Carter.
I guess I'll go Jair Alexander, I guess.
Here we go.
Guess I have to. I don't want to, but I don't know what else to pick. Yeah, a little pick 6 for him.
No, okay, we don't need no pick 6 talk.
Yeah,
can you just say you shut down AJ since no one picked him to be the player of the game, right? Like, can we just live there?
I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. I think he was the one who scored the touchdown against Dallas last year. I could be wrong. I think he had a pick 6 in that game.
He's definitely shut down Justin Jefferson in the past too.
Yes.
I remember that. He stunned it all over Jefferson the first play of the game, and I knew right then the game was over. My player of the game, I've been talking the matchup between the secondary and their wide receivers, as my key to this game. So I'm going to stay there. I'm going to live there. I'm going to go big play Slay. I'm seeing a pick and shut down Watson, whoever else Dobbs, whoever he's covering, which he usually does anyway. But I'm seeing a pick here.
Nate, I agree with you. I think Nolan Smith was a reach pick in the first round when you didn't need to. Like, they got cute and went off of projection more than anything else. But the athletic ability is there, so you just gotta, you hope it clicks for him at some point. Not clicks for him, but you know what I mean. But because he's drafted to be a replacement for the guys that aren't here. He's drafted to be a double-digit sack guy. Mm-hmm. The charter says Hunt 6 sacks this season.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be either him or Jalix Hunt needs to break out. One of those 2 guys.
Agreed.
Why don't we just 6 sacks tomorrow or Friday? Let's go
as a team.
No, Jalix Hunt. Let's go. Welcome to the league, Rook.
No, we drafted Javon. We drafted Javon Curse. You know what I mean? Like, we drafted baby Reggie White.
Baby freak.
I'm along the lines with Greg. I think the secondary makes a big difference here. I'm going to go with the guy who's returning. He comes back, makes a statement. I'm going CJ Gardner-Johnson, pick 6 here. I think he's going to break up some plays. I think he's and in turn, Greg, I think that's going to also assist a guy like a Slay on the outside too. Much like he affected, Slay and Bradbury. I think that Super Bowl year, I think removing him from last year, we saw what a key component he was of that trio, and I think that you get some of that back this year with now what I would consider a handful of guys that would be an upgrade over Bradbury. So going
100%.
CJ
Yeah, handful of guys is right. It's amazing too. It's amazing when you say like that's how different their roster is.
Rogers, Quinn, Jan, Ringo, whoever you want to throw in there.
I can't wait for us to we're doing this at 12:10 and we're sleeveless. I shouldn't allow you on just because you're sleeveless. We should have a full sleep policy at ATD.
Sorry for the bad lighting. I'm in my son's room.
Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that.
What's up, guys?
What's up,
What's
buddy?
up?
What's up?
What's your score?
Huh?
What's your score?
What my score? Like what am I coming on?
No, what's your
score
score for the
prediction.
game?
Oh, a score prediction. What did I didn't give one on Monday, did I? I'd probably go. I'm just gonna go high scoring. I'm gonna go 35-28. Something like that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be high scoring.
All right, yeah. I was 34-24, so I'm in your ballpark.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be high scoring. I think it's gonna be really, really fun, back and forth. I think both defenses are gonna make plays, but I just think it's gonna be like offenses. Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts going back and forth. So I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
SJM says Chuck's rocket gas agent cut off.
I'm in my pajamas. I wasn't expecting to be this late.
No, I'm not sleeping on Green Bay. Nate, Greg is. Luke obviously isn't. He picked them, but I don't think it's really a sleep on them. I think they're a playoff team, but I think you're too caught up in what we haven't done together. Like we act like this offense isn't intact. You name 3 people that were new. Like think about how many guys are still here. Right? You talk about Saquon. You talk about, Saquon. I mean, Jurgens isn't new. He's just a new starter, right? Guard, obviously, new. If it's Steen, it's not new. If it's Becton, it's new, right? So where's all the turnover? It's Kellen Moore. And changeover happens all the time in the NFL. Like, again, it's like not when we grew up. Like, it's 365. These guys are getting the playbooks immediately. They're diving into it. These nuances in the plays aren't this like, it's not this foreign language at this part of these guys' careers. It's not like a high school guy getting a whole new playbook after a year. Like that can mess you up, right? It's this, Nate. I'm not telling them something you don't know. But like, I mean, we're acting like because we have a new coordinator, we're not gonna be good. I don't know. That doesn't work for me. Like, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. I don't care if they're new. Like they were brought here because of their track record. They were brought here because they're gigantic upgrades. So now we're saying as a group, like, expect us to get off to a slow start. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't care about Green Bay. Who's the better team? We are. We should be. We're better offensively. I'll give them the edge defensively for right now until I see us. But I think we're really good. You know what I mean? I just haven't seen us. So that's where I'll go on Nate's side. I'll go on Chuck's side, obviously, with 24, 28 points. We haven't seen them. It's hard to say they're going to shut down to our poll question, right, boys? That's all. It's hard to say, like, we're going to shut stuff down.
We lose the Chuck, sir.
I don't know. JM says, it's Blankenship, Greg. What up, Greg? Greg Moore said, who's starting at safety besides CJ? That's Blankenship. Yeah, Packers D is better than ours, Jameer. That's why I got them. Plus, Philly won't be ready on offense. What? Why aren't we going to be ready? What are we not ready for? Oh, God. We're building them in. Week 1, we're building them in. Come on. We're really building any excuses. Why would they not be ready for a prime time Friday night under the lights in Brazil? Why would they not be ready? What's all the practice for? We act like we're going out with a blank goddamn canvas. what Luke wanted for the Sixers. You know what I mean?
Hell
The
no.
blank canvas. The blank canvas. You know. So I mean, like this is what we just. I mean, I don't. I'm a Chuck's. I don't know how we don't score 35 a night. You know what I mean? Like Thursday, Monday, you play us on a Tuesday. You could play the game Wednesday in freaking South Africa, right? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? You could play like literally with the Lions. You know what I mean? You could put like you build a fortress there and play a game in Africa with the Lions and we'll win there. Like, we'll score 30 there. Like, that's where I am with this offense. Like, I don't, like, we did players in the game, Chucks, and there's guys on the board. Like, we have 4 guys go. There's guys still left. Like, how are we not awesome? I don't know. Maybe we won't be. But, like, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
But what do you want to tell Chrome about?
Oh yeah, so I had to from the top of the show.
I'm not like I
had to. Well, it involves all you guys, but I mean, like, you know, I'm like you said, Tom, I'm catching grenades over my Devin White take, and I was like, you know, I had to come on just like you do. I had to defend myself a little bit because, like, you know, it's I never ever cheered him being hurt. I would never do that to an Eagles player ever. That never came out of my mouth.
Nobody said that.
I even said I was like, I want him to be healthy because, like, if anything, we need the depth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need him here because we signed him and we need linebackers. We need men. So, like, I want him to be healthy. Like, my excitement was merely because based on what I've seen in the preseason and in camp reports from camp of Dean, he's been the best linebacker. We've seen it in preseason. He's popped. He's the one that's popped. So, like, you want, with Dean being the guy that we drafted, I've said for months now, like, ideally you want Dean to emerge and be the guy. So when the report from McLean came out that, like, he was going to be the starter anyways, I'm like, oh, that's good because they're showing that they're not just committed to names. They're putting players out there that earned it. So that's why I was excited. I was like, okay, I didn't expect that because White got all the first team looks through all training camp. So I'm like, okay, this is good. That's what I'm excited for. I was never excited about the injury. And to what Chrome was saying, like, you know, I'm not rooting for him. I just want to be right. That's totally false. And the reason why I said, like, go search on my profile is because I just searched, and in the 3 separate tweets in the past month, I've said, I want Devin White to prove me wrong. I want to be wrong about Devin White. I hope he has a career resurgence.
Right, but the first instance you had on there today, I'm not saying nobody said you cheered an injury. That's not. But the first instance you had today,
said that, I more meant it like, just to clarify, like, if I said that, I more meant it like you were like excited he was hurt in a way, not excited he's hurt, but so that Nakobe could play, right? So Nakobe would be the starter. That's how I was like taking it. Not that you wanted him to be hurt, obviously, because we're not like, we don't hate Eagles players like that. Well, we had maybe in the past. Maybe in the past there's some guys that were like, maybe he gets banged up. But no, I mean, I was totally good with. I'm big on the Devin White signing because Nakobe couldn't be healthy, right? Or it's proven he hasn't been healthy. So you need that, and it's a low risk, high reward. Totally is. If he pops for you and he's great, awesome. You give him an extension. But if Nakobe goes and wins the job, that's even better. So like as much as I've been on here, Luke, and being like, Devin White's a guy who can walk into 100 tackles. Well, if they're telling me that Nakobe can walk into 120, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I'm all for that. Because he's the guy we drafted. And I want them organizationally to be right on those things. It's so important to hit those things. And I was saying, Chuck, like, the reason we're so deep on paper is because we've done a lot of good stuff draft-wise over the last few years to put ourselves in that situation to then allow us, when we spend money, to just get deeper, right? You're always going to have little areas of your defense or your offense, maybe not offense for us, but your defense or some part of your football team that you go into the season with and say, hey, binoculars are on you. And I would say that's more of our outside pass rush guys, you know, and we haven't talked about probably our best pass rusher, and that's Bryce Huff. So, you know, I think we sort of leave him out, who was a double-digit sack guy, right, Luke? But again, not a guy ideal on the run, but in a 3-4, he is, because you are playing Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Milton Williams. So you lengthen your front, which then allows those smaller guys to be able to play on the edge. That's why having 3 great interior guys, however you set up your defense, right? Whatever 4 you're bringing, at times Milton Williams is going to line up on the edge, right? Jalen Carter will probably line up on the edge. Like they're going to mix that 4 up in different ways. And like the 3-4, obviously you're showing 5 a lot of times, right? Guys are dropping back. I didn't think it gives you, when you have the personnel to do it, I like the 3-4 better when you have the personnel. We tried doing it before. We didn't have the 3-4 personnel, if you guys remember. Back in the day when we tried, where was Gene was that? Because you remember we did it for a second and we like went back. You guys remember that? Like BG was like playing a stand-up and he had like the worst year of his career year of his career. Who was that? What was that
Chip.
team? Chip, yeah. Of course it would be Chip.
Big ball Chip.
Of course it would be Chipper. But I think we're so suited for it because of Chucks, like because of Jordan Davis. Like he's a nose tackle. It's so much better suited for him. Now he can just clog stuff up. Where Nakobe, who had, there's a reason they were the best defense probably we've seen ever in college football, or in the last like 2 decades, at least a decade, minimum a decade, right? There's a reason. It was because because of that. Sorry for the rant this late, but I'm really high on this defense.
Just finish my thought earlier. The whole thing is you get an opportunity right away, and it's.
We're back to this.
See, now I'm losing my internet. Yeah, I'm losing my internet. I got the bad
We can
internet
hear you,
today.
though. We can hear you.
Okay. You get the opportunity right away, and you tell me there's not a track record of I'm right post. Thought it was wrong of me to not be a fan of the Devin White signing with a girl drinking tea. Then we go right to his messages are unread. Then we go right to people were in denial about the Devin White signing. Like you're immediately going into the I'm right. Like who cares if you're not necessarily right yet. But the best case scenario did happen for everybody because at the end of the day, there's no so far. Nobody even stepped foot on the football field yet, Chucks. But at the end of the day, the best case scenario is playing out, which is always the best case scenario has always been from day one. Nakobe Dean becomes the guy that we hoped he would be because he's the guy that the organization put the commitment in from day one. And I think we all agree with that.
That's where
my point I was making earlier was the moment you had a sliver of a door open, you took it, and you're like,
because
you could have did it differently. You could have did it differently.
Like those pictures we put up.
You should have did it. You should have did it more on, like devil's advocate, right? Like you should have did it more on, like if you're gonna go that direction, it should have been more like how Nakobe like stole the job, right? Like how Nakobe's the guy. You should have went more that direction than the tea sipping other direction, right? Which I don't give a shit about, but I think it's funny to break your balls, but that's where, you should have directed it more at. Because
I hear you. No, I hear you. And a lot of that is because that's the Twitter game. It's just like, it's you break balls, you have fun. And that's like the tea sipping and the thing about like messages aren't read, that was all fun and games. Like, because the joke someone posted like, I wonder if Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown left the accountability chat, and I was like, yo, that's too good. So I had to tweet that. So it's just all fun and games, but I'm not rooting against, like, even like, just this is why I said to go back. Even 3 days ago, some guy was talking about Devin White, and my tweet literally just says, I'm not rooting against Devin White. Why in the world would I? I want him to somehow have a career resurgence. Like, that's the truth. Like, I want him to be very, very good, because then we're great if he is really, really good. I have reservations, and the whole thing is just like I was catching flack because I was critical of the signing. So this is just me clapping back, and it's part of it. And if later on as the season goes on, if Devin White gets a starting job alongside Dean and he turns out to be great, I will eat crow. I will be the first on here and be like, yo, I was so wrong about Devin White, and I am so happy. Like, I'll go on every single A2D show, even Hockey Happy Hour, and I'll say it. Like, I don't even care. So I'll be the first one to be happy about it.
I've never talked about a player this much ever, Greg. You know what I mean? Like, as much as Devin White's been talked about, which is crazy.
This is crazy.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever talked about a player that much, but we'll leave it with this, right? But we leave it with this. It's a great question. Jalen Hurts has a resurgence year, yes or no?
Yes.
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 Luke, I am your father.
Oh, I was gonna go there too.
Ah,
Total dad joke.
Yeah, I'm here.
Total dad joke, and I
Here
love
for
every
it.
second of it.
Did he
How's
answer?
Luke?
Did he?
I don't think you heard it.
You probably didn't
Oh.
hear me.
Who's
Yeah,
shotgunning a
I
beer?
just got back. Yeah,
He was
I'm busy
shotgunning
over
a
here.
second. He's shotgunning.
First home games this weekend. I gotta log in.
You gotta
Well,
lock
let's go.
it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Jalen Hurts has a resurgence here, or however you phrase it. It's late, but yes or no?
Yeah, of course.
Just not Friday night.
So I gotta be the guy. I gotta be this guy. I gotta be this guy tonight. Oh my god!
No, you don't have to be that guy, Tom.
I don't have to be. No.
We can all
Listen,
agree.
there's a lot riding on this year for me, and it's all about your response in sports, life, whatever. Right? We're not doing Wendy Williams like Don said right now, but in sports, it's absolutely about your response. I mean, we preach it. I preach at the baseball level, and I would preach it in football if I was there too. But it's all about that, and he has a big year with a ton of talent that a lot of quarterbacks would dream of, right? Can only dream of. He has to. So I mean, I'll say yes because he has to, and I think he will. Like truthfully, I think he will. I think he's too hard of a worker not to. And like I said earlier, I think just a long season Super Bowl hangover. Where I'll leave you with this: Niners take a step back this year. They're not as good.
Yes.
They're not as good.
Yes.
It's hard, man. They've been on the cusp of this for a while. It's hard to keep scratching and clawing and getting into the door and getting punched in the face.
Mhm.
We talked about that when you walked away.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So
Did
we're
you-
all on the same page.
I think the Rams
Like
might
the Rams?
have a shot at winning that division. I like
I'm
that.
a
Oh,
you,
Matty,
bro.
right? Healthy
I'm a you,
Matty.
bro.
Healthy Matty. They're in.
I'll
that
say this about the
conversation.
NFC West. I think any team has a shot to win that division. Even I will say, even there's an outside shot at the Cardinals even doing so because they got so much talent now, so much
Well, they
young
do.
talent.
Their schedule's doesn't give them
It doesn't. Yeah. So I'm saying like an
I mean,
outside shot.
Vegas
but
only has their wins is 7.5. I mean, like, and
I
you
would
can't
go the
get
over on
7.5.
I would go the
Like-
over on that, but
Yeah, if Kyler's healthy, like
Yeah.
they absolutely have the weapons to score some points for
Was
sure.
there new Call of Duty coming out?
Bro, I'm with you. They're my sleeper NFC title team too. I love them a lot. If you give me a healthy Matt Stafford.
Oh, absolutely.
A
Yeah.
lot of firepower on that offense.
Matty Stafford
and
Matty
then you got
Stafford is the
Williams
best
and
quarterback
in the
that
backfield.
Matty Stafford will be the best quarterback. Go down to the best quarterback nobody's ever talked about.
100%.
So glad he
That's
got
exactly
his chip though.
He's got his
Yeah.
chip, and he deserves.
He got
it
his
because
chip, and that's what he needed and deserved.
The beatings he's taken. Too.
No one
Like,
doesn't like Matt Stafford.
Physical beatings.
Yeah,
You
like,
can't not like Matt Stafford.
yeah,
I mean, not root for Matty Stafford. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad he's out west there. But
Yep.
yeah. So that's it. Great show, boys.
Always.
Great show. Let's go Friday night. Me and Greg will, and whoever else wants to join us.
I'll probably be on.
We'll try to give you a little post game. I'm gonna have to bring a computer with me. So this is fun. But yeah, we're gonna do a little post game after the game, live from Brazil on Friday night. We'll drink the water too for funsies. But yeah, so I don't know why they're playing a game in Brazil, but that's neither here nor there. Well, it should be here. It should be here, not that. You know what I mean? It's a joke. It's a joke. So Roger Goodell's I'm not even blaming on Roger. The whole NFL, let's expand. Like, shut up. Like they play football and it's with a U. Okay, it's not. This ain't a sport for Brazil. Like, this ain't a sport in these countries. Like, I hate soccer. It's the number one sport worldwide. All right, and I don't gotta like it, but it's the facts are the facts. I don't even like a sport. I'm telling you how it goes. So what money? This isn't baseball. Baseball should be in Latin America, not goddamn football. Goodness gracious. This is where both MLB and NFL shit down and be like, actually, we should get into Central America. You know what I mean? We should be in there. I don't know where Brazil's at, but you get where I'm going, right? Like,
You're right.
Just in
South
general.
America.
Like, we don't need to play a football game in Mexico. Go
It's
play
12
baseball in Mexico.
It's 12:30. Your geography's perfect for right now.
Is it? I mean, I'm
It's
not
South
gonna-
America, but you're good.
I said South America first, didn't I?
It's 12:30. I don't know what you said.
Well, I did say South, and I went Central. I had no freaking clue. But at the end of the day,
You're right, though. They shouldn't be there.
I got a goddamn degree, and I got through it because I got resiliency. All right, but at the end of the day, I'm not smart. Well, I will say this:
I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
we did. Baseball should go to Mexico and play, not football. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those two parties should sit down. You know what I mean? But hey, guys, I think we're doing this all wrong. You know what I mean? Like football makes enough money right here in the U.S. They don't even need to go anywhere. You ain't taking them to London. You're taking them to Brazil. Did you watch any Fast and Furious? You know what I mean? Like, did we watch?
Right?
Did we watch anything?
Do we watch the Olympics?
Did we watch?
I love how Darius Slay gets shit for saying what we all are thinking
Yeah,
anyway.
what a
So the
shit.
player can't say, like, come on, they're all thinking it. They can't
He's
say it.
right.
What
I have
right.
a problem with a lot of things that he says. That is definitely not one of them.
Well,
That is
My
Many
favorite,
agreed.
my favorite was the Twitter apology, and everybody's like, "You don't have to apologize. They can't even legally see it in their country anyway."
This is true.
yeah.
Yeah. That was great. That was great. And I give Slay shit for a lot of stuff. And I'm calling him Slay right now until the season starts and he lays the tackle. And then
Here
we're back
comes
to
Darius.
Darius. But I give him crap for a lot of stuff. But he's spot on. Like, you know what I mean? So let's go.
Yeah,
with
Friday
football.
morning,
Like what
Friday
fun
morning
is-
pre-show too.
Yeah, like what fun is it? Like sending these guys to sit in their hotel room for 2 nights.
Yeah.
They can't even walk around.
Stupid.
No.
It's stupid.
Imagine a bunch of 6'6" guys can't walk around.
Yeah.
Bunch of freaking tree trunks can't walk around. You know what I mean? Like,
Watching movies at the hotel room. Like, what,
Yeah.
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. You know they're all bringing their Xboxes or PlayStations with them.
yeah, I'm sure some of those diehard fans that are there trying to get into that hotel too. You have to double lock the doors. But I'm not gonna say. All right, this has been ATD1.
Wait, real quick too. Don't forget
Yeah.
Friday morning too. We're gonna have a preview show.
Yes, and a post, pre and post.
It's gonna be a hell of a football day. Wrap it
Yeah,
up.
we got you all set up for the loss. We're here for you.
According to
You all
Luke.
set-
According to Luke.
we got you all set up for disappointment. So we'll
Sorry
see you
about it.
Friday. See you Friday. Love you all. We can't thank you enough for all the comments, everything. You guys drove the show. Get us over 100 likes. Hit the like and subscribe. Get us to 11K. Giddy up. Let's go. Thank you, Baggios. They're the best. We're doing a live remote from there shortly with Bernie Perrant, little Brian Prop. We'll be stopping in. We got some things happening. So we'll talk to you.